Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. So it looks like I'm here first this time. So beat you all to it. Hello Shota, you're the first one today and a new name. Hello Mehran, he says, it's me again. Let me remember you. Just want to let you know that I still think about my ex every now and then, and every now and again. But I just had some with a girl that I don't really know, and we basically had sex. I come from England and might be facing going to prison very soon. Why would you go to prison? What have you done? Were you guys not at the legal age of your country? Is that why, or what is the reason that you think you're going to jail? It's really stressful, he says, and I don't know what to do. Should I continue life living day by day, or try and hold on to the past and rekindle things with my ex? I don't understand your other comment though. Shota, I think. You say that you might be facing to go to prison. I don't understand why. What does it have to do with you missing your ex, or you having had an intimate encounter with a girl that you just met? Are you both not at legal age in UK? What is the reason that you think that way? Carpe Diem says, hi Mehran, hello from Canada. Oh, hello, it's been a while, Carpe Diem. Shota says, I've made some mistakes in the past, nothing to do with the girl. Oh, I see. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear that. I don't know what to say. I hope you have, good lawyers, and you are trying to remedy the situation. I hope everything would work out. Let's see. Carpe Diem says, Mehran, how to overcome first love. Carpe Diem, remind me, as I know we've spoken, or at least back and forth messaged on the YouTube many times, or at least I've seen your comments quite often, but I forgot about where you are located and where from you're tuning in and how old you are. And I believe you are a young man, and so these would kind of help me to know when you're talking about first love. When you talk about first love, are you still in that same age or close to it, or is it like a long time ago but you're remembering your first love still? El Hajj says, hello sir from USA, Minnesota. What type of girls are qualified for marriage? El Hajj. I don't know for you what kind of girls are qualified for marriage, but in general, I have a video that it says how to select correctly, or correct the selection of how to choose your girlfriend, how to find a good girlfriend. If you search it on those words, you will find videos that addresses how to find the right girl for yourself. But short of the long, if I can remember the things that I said in there, in short, when you decide to take a travel, or take a travel partner, let's say, you both, first thing is that you want to make sure that you're heading the same direction. Otherwise you can't be traveling partners if one wants to go a different place. So before you get together or choose a partner, You got to see if she is also having same or similar reasons for wanting to be in a relationship. Is it because she wants to be happy, or is she already happy and she wants to be in a relationship? Is she wants to be in a relationship with you, or she wants to be in a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship? Is she trying to fulfill a certain image of herself by the idea of being in a relationship, or is she really looking for you to be her partner? And is she actually wanting this relationship for similar reasons that you want? Is it just intimacy? Is it just fun? Is it just friendship? Is it just intimacy of, friends with benefits type? Or is it really a relationship that you're both going to be committed to do your best and make it work? Are you guys headed toward a long-term relationship? Are you guys headed toward getting to know each other? Or are you interested in her because she's pretty, or is she interested in you because you've got money or you got things you can provide, or vice versa? You got to find out if where you guys are both headed, meaning the intention and purpose of being in a relationship, is similar or the same. Otherwise, no matter how attractive you guys may be to each other, it will not work. So the purpose of doing something should be really compatible. I think that would be a good start. And the rest you can check on the video about how to select the right girlfriend, how to find the right girlfriend, something like that. And the videos will show up, that how many I have that discusses that sort of a topic. Shota says, Copy DM says, got divorced 8 years ago and 40. And El Hajj Berry is 23. And Carpe Diem is how to overcome first love. What the heck, Carpe Diem? You're at 40 and you divorced your wife 8 years ago, but you're thinking about your first love. Was your wife your first love? Or you're talking about when you were a teenager? Come on now. Throw me a bone. Give me the info, as Dr. Evil used to say. I can't figure it out. Don't make it a puzzle, guys. Be as clear as you can so I can actually figure it out as soon as I can. Shota says, because my ex was a barrier from good and bad, and without her, I was led in a bad path. That's the reason. Being with her kept me out of lots of trouble, and now I'm not with her. I keep on messing up. Well, it's not too late maybe, because you're wise enough to actually bring this question up, and you're talking about it, that you prefer not to be in trouble. You prefer not to mess up. You prefer not to be entangled in the wrong things to end up facing legal procedures and prisons and all that. So when your wisdom already is telling you, as you're telling me, that when she was around, she was a barrier between wrong and right, and you would stay on the right, and you like that lifestyle better, and you don't like the possibility of going to jail, and you don't like to be involved in negative and disturbing or destructive or illegal behavior and things. So therefore, if you can understand all of that, listen to yourself. You have chosen to be righteous, in the right, do the right thing, and not do the wrong thing. You don't need her to tell you that. Your intelligence has already seen it clearly and voiced its preference clearly. So while it is not too late, you can simply become your own conscious, become your own policeman, become your own legal advisor, and make sure that you comply with the laws of the land and with the decency of behavior, and being involved in positive activities that will help you and the society, people in the society around you, grow and develop to become the better version of themselves. So that is all you need. You can't use her as an excuse and do something wrong and then say, because she left me, she wasn't with me, then I became like this, as if she is going to be taking the rap for you or go to jail for you, or she can be held responsible for whatever it is that you decide to do on your own. You can't blame other people when you should be responsible for what it is that you should be responsible for. So bring that logic into your mind and understand that you are the master of the quality of your life, and at least when it comes to legalities and good citizenship behavior, you can clearly make that decision because that's the right thing to do, because we are the people who have come a long way from 1,000 years ago, and we've learned to become civilized, have rules and laws, so we can keep the community safe and at a level of quality that everybody would be able to flourish in that, and not to be subjected to some things that the society as a whole, through their legal system, have decided not to engage in such activities. So that is something easy for you to simply, you command it. You command what you should not be involved in. Not that, oh, she's left me, therefore I have no control anymore. What are you, a balloon? When they let go the line, it'll go anywhere as the wind blows? No, you have roots. You're like a tree. You have roots. You decide where to be stable, where to stay, and what to take in, what not to take in. Don't be like a log fallen in the river, where the river can take it anywhere it wants, to the banks, to the shore, to where the garbage are, to where the shit is, where the things that the log doesn't want to have anything to do with it, but it has no choice because the river water will take the log with it anywhere it goes along the run of the river. Instead, become a tree in the river, have roots, so the river water cannot move the tree, and the tree is the master. It makes the water go around it, separate, open up, go around it, and the tree will take only the good water and the good nutrients that is alongside traveling with the river, and not the shit and the garbage, and makes them all to separate and go around the tree and continue onward in the riverbed, and not to be influencing the tree itself, because it has a root and is not being taken wherever the river wants to take it. Too much sun. Today we are blessed with lots of sun. So that should be something that you can take care, rather than trying to blame somebody else for whatever it is that you are getting yourself into. Now, Carpe Diem says, what do you think about MGTOW? What, men going their own way? I guess that's what I've learned, that's what it is. It's not a movement. What does that mean? I really don't understand men going their own way means. What does that mean? Everybody goes their own way, but they just got to make sure they're using their decisions in a way that will not be harmful to the others. Otherwise, if everybody wants to go their own way, regardless of how it affects the others in the society or in their immediate surroundings, well, then we're going to have a chaos as we had maybe hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So, okay, so you remember your first love. So what? We all could. We have a memory. Just because you remember something, that doesn't mean it's good for you. It was then. Remember, At the time of this memory was created, which that is the images that you're remembering, you were at a different age. You only knew certain things. Your expectations and standards of life was way different than what it is right now. Your knowledge about life and experience was different. Your experience about girls and what you really want in a girl was different, because your whole intelligence about life and experience in life and expectations and knowledge about everything was so limited to that stage of your life. And so was hers. Now you still remember that sweetness and that compatibility at the time, but neither you are the same person with the same amount of limited knowledge or experience of that age, nor she is right now. You both have grown, and God knows you may definitely not have the same feelings or interests, but the whole picture, image of how that thing went at the time that you guys were younger and interested in each other, that is a very palatable memory. But that doesn't mean today it will be the same, or even if you guys meet, it will be the same. You've gone through such a long journey to become 40-year-old, and I bet you she's around the same age, and so many things that you guys have experienced in life that has changed you, updated your knowledge, advanced you in understanding and expectations of life, or of mates or partners. So what you're really missing is a memory, and that memory in reality doesn't exist anymore. That personality of you and her really doesn't exist anymore. You are not the same person as you were. She is not the same person as you were. You just finished the 8 years old marriage, and you're hurt, and you miss something sweet, and the sweet and no no negative relationship that you can remember was the example that you have in your mind about when you were so young with your first love. And first love is always very sweet, because neither one of you expected anything from each other. Just to be around her was a glorious day because all the hormones and all the expectations and not knowing really what to expect, and whatever you were feeling was so amazingly exaggerated in you, because that's how it was. It was the first expressions. It's like first time, I don't know, having ice cream, or first time having spaghetti. I don't know. It all has a different extraordinary effect on your palates, on your taste buds, on your experience. And no matter it's like saying 40 years later or 20 years later, you say, oh, I remember the first ice cream that I had. You know, it's probably the same, but because you've had the same ice cream so many times, it will never be like the first time. Because the first time, it wasn't the ice cream that was better ice cream. It was because the experience was the first time of experience. So when you're remembering your first love, it's not because that love was so perfect for you now, was so perfect for you even then, was because it was the first time you ever experienced that thing. So to you, it was all anomaly of new things, an amazing experience and feelings, an extraordinary exaggeration of all the sensories coming to experience that. So remember, what you remember of the first love and what you miss it is not really the quality of the love and what you guys were so compatible and did together and were so good together and all that so forth, because you didn't know even who you are, let alone knowing what you want from each other. It was actually the fact that it was the first time you experienced that elation, that feeling, amazing feeling of being in love. That's what you're missing, not the girl. So move on and find someone that will be a compatible partner, compatible woman for you now as you are, the actuality of you, not the memory and image of you have of you in your mind, and the image and memory you have of her in your mind. None of that exists, and none of that matters. Neither you are the same nor her, and nor that love can ever be the same, because it wasn't the love really, it was the fact that it was the first time you experienced love. That's two different things. Carpe Diem says that's my problem. Oh, Shota says, Carpe, that's my problem. I'm 16 and I know it's very young age, but I'm hurt over this girl. Was with her since I was 14, now I'm 16. Holy macaroni, are you kidding me? You're just 16. You've got no business wanting to be with someone for a long term. You're just supposed to be learning. And 2 years is a long time in that age. You probably broke the record of anybody at that age being in a relationship for that long. So enjoy your life. There's nothing wrong. It was a normal duration, even longer duration that is usually normal for a 14-year-old to be with somebody. And 14-year-old has no business being in that longer relationship. It's just about learning how to, interact with girls and to get to know them, to be friend with them, to experience this whole business of getting to know the opposite sex and be friend with them and learn how to communicate with each other. That's where the period is supposed to be. Not that 14-year-old suddenly you are the man and she's the woman, and then at 16 naturally both of you change. Now she changed. If she didn't break it up, you would have changed 6 months from now or whenever, because that's the way you're developing. You cannot remain to be the same as you were age 14 or 16. You always develop, and then your tastes and expectations, standards to choose your partner changes, and usually you guys go your own way anyhow. And that was a normal path that such young relationships will take. So just stop this business of thinking that you should be with her at all. And it was an experience for you to learn what this whole feeling and relationship with women, girls are at this age. And you're a young boy, and enjoy your life and go and learn and finish your studies, focus on building life, and then you will find other girlfriends that will meet your standards and you meet their standards, get to know them, communicate well, and get a job and build a life, and then have a relationship. Otherwise, now is not supposed to be as serious as you've made it, that she has to be around for you to stay away from bad things. No, you're responsible to be stay away from bad things. And just for that, look what the laws of your country is and abide by it. And that's the end of that. Simple. Don't make it a rocket scientist problem. Rocket science. So please be good to yourself and stop this nonsense. You're at this age, you shouldn't be expecting to have a long-lasting relationship with a girl. And just put your head in the right place, and you will know. You have a good head, I think. You can figure out what's wrong and how things should be or should not be, as you expressed it here. So use it and move on, and find some good advisors who are on the side of the law, like maybe your parents or your teachers, or your, talk with them and express your interest to want to learn what is right, what is wrong, and how to do it, and they will help you, I'm sure. Yeah, life sucks sometimes, but that's what life is all about. Nobody said that this is a holiday season. There are challenges, and you become a man when you can withstand those challenges. Not that to be swept away by just every kind of a rain or a river water that flows towards you. You allow it to take you with it. Have roots, and rely on your roots and your rules and beliefs of what is right, what is wrong, and figure that out, not just assuming what is right, what is wrong. Figure it out based on the rules of the land and your elders telling you, reputable elders, like, good teachers and so on. And then you figure out what is right, what is not. And if you really don't know, go to a lawyer and find out what the law of the land is all about. What is right, what is wrong. Go to your principal at the school. Any legal authority of that sort would be able to direct you to the right direction. Shota says, Mehran, let me ask you a question though. Okay, sure. How did you get over your first you're supposed to be responsible for? And the things that you're supposed to do, whether it's from homework or sport activities or things that projects you're supposed to finish, even though it hurts because in the back of your mind you miss something, but that missing is not that there's anything wrong with you. It's just the fact that you're at the age that such romantic feelings is amazing to endure not being around it and not having it, because it was one of the first experiences and you felt so good, and you think that's the answer to your questions because it takes your focus on that, and then you will be feeling happy. And happiness is what most of us are after. But what makes you happy is not necessarily good for you. So you got to find something that is good for you and it's happy. Something that is happy, makes you happy, and it's good for you and for the society. So that is an interesting balance to figure out. So if you focus on life itself and your responsibilities and what you want to accomplish in life, the first love will naturally disappear, because there would be so many other loves and one better than the other one. The reason that the first love seems so wonderful is because nobody expects anything, nobody knows anything. Nobody really is on each other's throat and have conflicts or division in their consciousness, in their conditionings, and they're so young, they don't have much really rules and regulations and concepts in their consciousness to interfere with enjoying each other. And everything in that age is like joy, not a pleasure. When it's joy, it means nobody expects anything, nobody wants it for a long run. They just experience and enjoy the moment and the blessing of feeling the way they're feeling, and they're not expecting it to become a permanent thing. Therefore, everything is just light and wonderful. Once you start demanding and wanting that joy to become a permanent thing, to become pleasure, then suddenly you feel anxious to keep it going. I want this feeling to last, therefore I want this to become a pleasure, an ongoing thing, and you turn a temporary to a permanent. You turn an impermanent joy to permanent pleasure, and that becomes a gateway to boredom. And suddenly, even if you guys stay with each other for a little longer, you will not be that happy with each other, because you didn't really bond on anything to do with your consciousness and your expectations, because when you guys got together, you had no expectations. You had nothing really as far as standard is concerned. But when you grow up, you will gain these expectations and standards according to what it is that you're experiencing going through life. And then you will see you guys don't match. So the fact that it just fell through is natural. And if you focus on growing up and experiencing what life is throwing at you and making best decisions, then naturally you will forget the first love. There will be so many other loves, much bigger and much palatable, delicious, lovely, compatible than you could ever imagine. Emmanuel says, hi Mehran, hello dear. How do I deal with being too sensitive? Ah, yeah. I feel offended easily, yes. If people make any comments about myself, whether it is in regards to my personality or my physical appearance, yeah. Well, because you have only gotten to know yourself through the obvious things, through your clothing, through your face, through your hair, through your fitness level, through your looks, through your money maybe, and all of that is something that you think that is the limit of you, and that is the only thing that describes your qualities. And if anybody says anything about it, that makes you feel you're less than what you thought you are, with having that image of yourself, considering who you are, what you are, in the way you look and so on. And the amount of knowledge that you have, you also think of it as being complete which is not. Knowledge is limited. So you shouldn't think of yourself as perfect to be offended if somebody makes a antagonizing comment. Of course, nobody likes when some people make an antagonizing comment about them, but you should quickly think, who are they, that you should actually think what they're saying has any value or diminishing abilities towards your character. Who died and made them the boss of giving you value or taking value away from you by their comments? It is you who think the others are more than you, or you want to be more than them, so you can't tolerate anything they say, especially because you're an aristocratic a little bit and you may be sure of yourself, which is good, but that doesn't mean if somebody makes a comment about you, that's definitely true. Or if it's true, that doesn't mean it will take anything away from you. If it's not true, you should rely on the truth, meaning, I know it's not true, I don't give a shit what they say. If it's true, which means you can be a good judge and be sincere to yourself and say, yeah, well, yeah, I farted and I shouldn't have, they said it stinks, and it's true. So that will help you to not do it again when there are people around. So take that as a guidance to better yourself, to polish yourself, what it is that they say to you and you think it's true. And what it is that they say to you and you think it's nonsense, it's not true because you analyze it and you know better, then say, who gives a shit? Let them say what they say. That's their way of trying to make themselves important by picking on me that they probably, possibly think inferior towards. And then by chipping away from me in their mind, they may elevate themselves. Sometimes that's the case. When you're really a nice guy, don't bother anybody, and people are jealous sometimes, and they say things in order to elevate themselves and bring themselves to your level, because many people think because they haven't made anything out of themselves, they don't really think they're much. They say, how can I be more? I can't do something to make myself more. So let's say what? What about if I take something away from somebody who is more? Maybe I insult that person. Maybe I make fun of him. Maybe that makes me feel good or somewhat closer to their level. So they could have all kinds of intentions. You should really not give a damn. You should care about two things. Is it true? Relying on the facts and truth. Is it true? If it is, I make correction, adjustments, and make myself better. Use that negative information to analyze and modify my behavior or mentality or whatever it is that I believe is true. If it's not true, who gives a shit? Maybe they just wanted to please themselves, and I don't care. I will continue my own way. It's no different than you actually researched and found out that going this direction, you will get to the castle of magical castle of thousands of years ago. And you've researched enough, you know that's the right direction. And along the way, somebody comes and says, hey, you're wasting your time, you're going towards shithole. Well, if you're really sure about your research and you know you've had enough evidence, they know it's right, then who gives a shit what they say? Who gives a damn? Let them say what they say. They can go to the direction that they want. Maybe they just want to turn you away from your goal. But if some, I don't know, some magical character appears in front of you that you can see is extraordinary and tells you, son, actually where you're going, is not the castle you're looking for. The castle is about 10 degrees away to the right. Then you may think, oh yeah, the stuff that he shows you are the scripts and things that you can see. You can believe it. Yeah, it makes sense. All the angles and mathematical equations that you did point you in the wrong direction, but he is trying to tell you, and when you look at it, you say, oh yeah, that's correct. That's the truth. So when it's truth, you say thank you, and you change, or you don't say thank you, you just modify your direction to get to your destination in a different image that you think it's better than how you were imagining it. So deal with it that way. don't be bothered. But I understand you're sensitive because you believe you're a good person and you try hard to stay and be a good person, and you don't bother and are not a nuisance to anybody, and therefore you expect a certain respect. Then of course that has a bit to do with the fact that excuse me, we have been conditioned from childhood to want to be more, and on that route, if anybody comes along and says something that makes us look like we are not more, we get really offended because it feels like they're taken away from something that I've been trying to accomplish. So the ego is trying to kind of propel you to reject their comments, and based on the fact that is trying to take away from you what it is you're conditioned to accomplish all through your life, to be more. And all our attention and focus through childhood has been to be better, to be more in this, be compared with this and that. And every time somebody says something about you, it's like they're comparing you, and you have to compare yourself that you're not as good as you thought you are. And that bugs you, bothers you, because you spend lots of time to make yourself to be a good person and respectable. So, long and the short, or short and long, is don't give a shit. Just who are they that their word would really mean that much? So Jack says that's why I get along with why I get along with anybody, and I don't hate anybody just because of how they look or how they act, Mehran. Okay. And Jack says, but people hate me for who I am. And he chooses a four-letter choice word and it says, well, who cares if they like you or not? What difference does that make if you are a good person? What difference does that make if somebody likes you or don't? That's a reflection on them. What about this? If somebody sees a good apple, says, oh, I hate that apple. Do you think people really say, oh, he's so wise? They just say he's so dumb, stupid. Who hates a good apple? You know, just because they can't appreciate a good apple, that doesn't mean that the apple becomes bad or that they're right. No, people are not dumb. So if you're who you are and you're a wonderful person, you don't hate anybody. People who do hate you is because they're jealous. And if they hate you, that means you're doing something right. Unless you're a menace to the society, which I don't think so. So that word that you said is absolutely the magical word that you can use it in this case, and not to give a damn. Carpe Diem says, Mehran, what helps you relax during stressful time? What helps me to relax, I guess different stressful times, different things helps me relax. Sometimes, or often, I try to focus on the stuff that I just told you about. But depends on what kind of stressful thing is. Is it some people's behavior, some people's lack of logic or fairness? For that, I've learned to think that they're just missing quality in humanity that they don't have. Or they're bogged down and confused with what is right, with what they've been trained to say, if it's a business service that they're not offering and they should. If it's something that is, you know, going wrong for me, let's say in business, I try to focus on things that are going right for me. I try to focus on things that I love and respect and I'm happy about. There's so many negative things in life, I don't have to really focus on them. I try to keep my focus on the things that are good in this life, on the people that are good. The people who are not good, I try to shun away from them and let them be where they are. Try to limit my business with them if I can, as much as possibly I can. And of course, a good cup of tea never hurts. To sit down and just relax, meditate, Think about good things that you like. Think about goals that you want to accomplish. Take yourself out of that frame of imagination or images that the incidents have created for you. We're not talking about health incidents, so on, because those things, unfortunately, we don't have much ways to counter in this way. We just got to go through them and hope that we can overcome them, and so on and so forth. We're talking about stresses of daily life, about people, businesses, and things. So sitting down and having a cup of tea maybe, or meditating seriously and thinking about the things you want to accomplish, thinking about the things that you like, about goals that you want to accomplish, how the things will be when you accomplish those things and reach your goals. So in other words, you're changing the image that is really created bother for you to something that you would like to be in there, to have your consciousness move from the image of stressfulness to the image where you are actually happy. And that may be of some help, plus the meditation and getting active, to going to the gym. Sometimes when I really think I'm really pissed off at something and it's late at night and the gym is open 24 hours, I push myself. I go to the gym and I feel better, because when you're in the gym, you know, more dopamine is created, serotonin and all that, and you see some friends around maybe, or some other people who are doing the same thing. It kind of feels like you're in a domain that it's bringing that kind of a less stressful place and environment, and then you place yourself in such environments which will help you to change your inner feelings about what it is that you were focused on, which you shouldn't be. And lots of other ways that I'm sure everyone has their own way of doing it. But sometimes remember, stressful things are a way to learn and to grow. Just like the lobster story that I told you guys before. You know, the lobster is a mushy thing in a hard shell, and the lobster is growing, but the shell doesn't. So when it grows and fills up the shell, it's under stress because it wants to grow, but the shell is not growing. It's tight. So what it does, it goes under a rock, finds somewhere safe and relax, and then sheds the shell and creates a new one with more space for the mushy thing inside the muscle, so to speak, to grow. But that stress caused him to grow, to become stronger and bigger. So the stress often is a sign of an opportunity to actually be able to deal with something and grow in your capacity and ability to deal with things. And then you become more confident because of it and have learned how to deal with things. And then the life becomes like a road that you've been there before. It's a little bit more familiar how to deal with things when they come up and they're not good stuff. Let's see, where are we? Wow, I'm behind all the questions, but I'm going as fast as I can. Jack says, if people don't like who you are, who gives a shit? Right. Okay. Okay. Aso says, hey, Aso here, people. Okay, hello, Aso. Aso says, Mehran, you've been missed. Well, I've been around, but just didn't get to have a live talk every day. Aso says, and Carpe Diem says, great advice. We tend to focus on the negative, sad but true. Yes, we do. Aso says, I have a question. I hope you get it. How to deal with fuckboys, Mehran? Oh, that's a that's a expression. I'm not quite sure what it means, but I can understand the words in it. Maybe that means assholes. And males that are alpha and great and pretty, but in real life they want to mental play games and fuck around with girls. Well, not all. Alpha male doesn't mean that they're all bad. If they're bad, it's not because they're alpha male, it's because they're bad character. Not every alpha male is bad, or not every bad person is alpha male. But you say how to deal with people who want to play with your head and play a game. And Aso says, excuse my language, Mehran, no other way to ask this question. So maybe you mean the boys who come along and they are kind and nice and caring, and then they get you involved with themselves, and then they don't pay attention and move away. And is that what you mean by the combination of the four-letter word and boys that you choose? Is that what you mean? That they play with your head, they pretend that they like you, and they get you involved, and then I don't know, maybe they pretend they're such a good person, you trust them, and then you have intimacy with them, and then they leave. Is that what you're trying to say? And Aso says, some women play around because those males need to learn not to, four-letter word like that. I'm still a bit confused as what that blank boys supposed to describe about the behavior of the boys. Was I correct to assume that you mean the boys that pretend they're nice and they like you, they come and get to know you and you trust them and you have intimacy with them, then they leave and they play with your mind that they will come back or they are with you but they're not? Is that what you're meaning? So that will help me to know exactly what we're talking about. And Aso says, in my university, those boys use girls for their money, sex, and to make their freaking image better in front of other boys. Yes, well, okay, listen, I think I understand what you mean. But that means to me that you're expecting people to be good and responsible towards you, rather than you figuring out who's good, who's not. If you see the bunch of boys in your university are intending to, you know, play the girl out and fool her and be intimate with her and play the game and maybe get some money from her for things they want to buy, as that if they're pretending they're in a relationship or they're a couple, and then I don't know, have sex with her and then disappear and enjoy themselves and so on. If that's the kind of a group that you will see around you in your university, first of all, not all boys in university are like that. Maybe a handful. And so you got to learn how to avoid these assholes and not to be played. Become smarter to figure them out and make it longer before you will actually, trust them or to have intimacy with them or give them any money of any sort. Anyhow, any guy who asks money from a girl, in most cases, that is not usual. And you should be apprehensive about the guys who just got to know you and they play the game and they ask you for money. You just say, well, I don't have enough to give anybody. I have enough for myself. Simple. Why should you part with your money? Even if you're in a relationship of boyfriend, girlfriend, that's not your responsibility to give them any money. If you guys go for some sandwich to eat and you feel like to treating your friend, that's different. Or they feel like treating you, that's different. But if you are not sure about the kind of character that they have and they are, well, then you shouldn't be falling into the trap of them being nice or not. You should set your own standards. You should know when you will trust a boy. Not because he's been nice, therefore I trust him. No. You should say, okay, I will see he's been nice here, and then there, and then there, and then 6 months passes. No boy sticks around to play a game for 6 months. Then maybe after that you will see, oh, the guy is genuine and is actually want to be, you know, real friends or closer than friends, exclusively, get to know each other further. But rather than thinking that they have the upper hand and control in the relationship, you should have it, meaning you should be wise enough not to fall for that shit. You can't just trust anybody who comes along and smiles at you and be nice to them and trust them because you have the need to trust someone to say that I have a boyfriend, and then eventually you let them abuse you or use you, or then you know, have their fun and leave. You're supposed to not give in to the idea that you have in your mind that you want to have a boyfriend and you want to have that image of you to have some close friendship with the guy in your university. You just got to have this idea of, I will see who they are, and you will see if they're good people, good boys, proper, well-mannered, caring, honest, and then that will take time. And guys who are of that sort that you explained won't hang around for 2-3 months. They will disappear by themselves because they see there's nothing here for them to hang around, because she's tough and she's smart and she's wise to their bullshit. That's it. You can't expect them to behave. You can expect yourself to figure it out. So, so says Mehran, I got into this game and everything I'm trying to do is to teach them a lesson not to mess with me. So any advice on that? Yeah, my advice is to stay away from assholes. You don't have to play the game with them. You don't have to teach them any lesson. What? Do you go and try to teach a lesson to some dangerous situation, some psychotic murderer? You want to teach them a lesson? That's not your job to teach them. There are authorities for that. There are other things. Your job is to take care of yourself and to hang around people that are of good quality. You see somebody is being a jerk, an asshole, or insincere, or you know, manipulator, or psychotic, or whatever it is, move on, move away. There are many different ways to win a battle. One is to sit at home and calculate what you're going to do when you encounter some opposing factor, some opponent. And then you figure out how you do it, how you don't do it, what moves you make, what techniques you use to defeat that person who may be opponent or attacking you while you're walking in the street, or that battle, you're facing that battle. That's one way, and you go and do your best. The other one is that you just encounter and you do whatever you can to protect yourself and defeat the person or move away. The third one is do nothing. You're walking in the street, you see some guy or something or some car, or what would you do if some horse or some donkey or some cart or some car or some person comes towards you from opposite direction? So what do? You're going to stand and hit the car or try to teach him a lesson? No, you pivot on your hip and let them pass you by. They miss the target. Their own inertia, their own fast moving towards you, their own intention to harm you, they're about to hit you, they're about to collide with you. All you have to do is do nothing. Pivot, and they will miss you, and their own inertia takes them and throws them down because there's nothing there for them to hold on to or bang into you. So they will fall. In other words, in Aikido we say, one of the ways to win a battle is to do nothing, just not be there. When the sword is about to attack you, one way is to try to put your hand in front of it, to put your sword in front of it. And the other way is simply move away, and he can't cut you. So stay away from these assholes. That's the way to deal with it. You're not supposed to teach them anything, just not to mingle with them. If it's not your kind, if it's not to your standards, you don't go. When you're walking in the street, you see a pile of shit. What are you going to do? So I'm going to teach this shit to be clean. Start pushing them with your feet or your hands and moving them away from the street. No, you walk away, because that's not something you should be associating with. Same thing in anything, most things in life. There are all kinds of assholes in this life. You just move away from them. Move to the group that you feel comfortable, and you don't have to teach anything, because if they don't know what they're doing or is improper, it's not your job to teach them. They will eventually get caught, and somebody will teach them a lesson, or the authorities will get wise up to them, and so on. Now, so says Mehran, is it enough to block them everywhere and be happy and smile, while in addition throwing some shades every now and then? Don't throw anything. As I said to you, move away. Let them fall down with their own inertia, meaning they throw something, there's no target. They run towards something, there's no target. They hit the wall eventually. So, yeah, block them away and move on. Live your life. Jack says, Mehran, new coat for this new t-shirt? I don't know, actually. I'm waiting for them to send me the link so I can let you guys know. It was 2-3 days ago that I think we finalized everything, and I have paid them to put that kind of the page for my t-shirts and all that. But I'm sure this weekend I should hear from them one way or another, and if they were not the right company, then I'll choose another one. But it should be up and running this week, I think. Copy Jim says, Mehran, do you think getting a girl 10 years younger a bad idea? Depends how old you are. If you're 20, then you should never go around anybody less than 20 or 21-year-old. If you're 40 years old and you're talking about 10 years younger, 30 years old, no, that's fine. What's wrong with that? As long as you guys hit it off well, understand each other, cordial, respectful, and want to know to get to know each other, and bond on consciousness level, and enjoy a healthy lifestyle and relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're 30 and she's 20, that's a bit too young, because the 10-year difference is not long if it's in the right ages, like 40 to 30 or 35 to, let's say, 27 or even 25. But when you yourself are age 30, the 20-year-old girl is too young, because she still wants to know what's going on. She may be infatuated with the fact that she hasn't made much out of herself, but you have at that age, and that's why she's attracted to you. You want a girl who have already built something out of herself, accomplished something, have finished her studies, or some job that she wanted to know and learn, and she's doing it. And she's got some experience in life and success. So therefore, the reason she comes to you, want to be partner with you, is not because you have accomplished more and she hasn't done anything, so you seem so accomplished. You want her to also be accomplished, so you guys will be attracted to each other based on each other's persona, each other's consciousness, each other's interaction with each other, communication levels, and interests and standards that you expect from each other, having a standard to expect from each other, and all that. A 20-year-old girl still trying to figure it out. So she may stay with you for 6 months or a year. Then there are things she wants to do but you don't want to do, because you're at a different life stage, and everything is new for her, and the attention of other boys is so important to her to feel good about herself, but you know what those attentions are for, and you don't like it. So when a girl is a little older, that have seen all that dog and pony show, that bullshit and all that things, then she will be very strong and not to pay attention to all these extra attentions that comes from all boys wherever she's walking around, because that's what boys do. They try to, you know, get the attention of a girl. They all do that, and their interest in a girl is not just to be cordial all the time. Often it is that they want something more. And so when a girl is too early and doesn't understand really what's all behind all that attention, well, then she would be attracted to all those attention, and she may feel like, oh, they pay her so much attention, so maybe it's better to kind of try to be with them and then break up with you, because she's not really basing the relationship on real things that she knows what they are. She's just basing it on who pays attention to her to make herself feel good. So that's why when you're 30, a 20-year-old is too young. When you're 35, 25-year-old, okay, and so on and so forth. Depends on what age you are. Otherwise, 10 years difference by itself is not that bad. Jack Dole says, "Don't play with shit" could be a new quote. Carpe Diem says, "Are you still selling your autograph books?" Yeah, the books are on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, where you can take a look at the table of contents of each book by clicking on them, and each book has a little video beside it tell you what the book is all about. Then you have a chance to read a sample chapter of that book by clicking on the pages, and then see which book is suitable for you. Yes, they're still there, and often I get some requests, and they go through the channel, and then I sign it and I send it to them. The ebooks are also there, which they're much cheaper and easy to download. However, yes, the short of the long is yes. And I hope you guys have had some kind of a possibility to promote the channel in your own way, as we discussed last time. It is very important for everyone to help to promote the channel and make it more known through your social media. If a bunch of you do that, it will help the channel, because as you know, the channel has been very helpful to thousands, if not millions, of people around the world through the past few years, and mostly you know, people are welcome to use all the videos. There's no necessarily charge to them. So if you think that has been helpful to you as well, it would be a good idea to help it to be popularized, because I need more subscribers, and for that I need more exposure. So the videos that you like, whether it's on the relationship end or whether it's on the psyche end, you can choose whichever video it is that you like and you want to promote it on your social media. That would help the channel a lot. And also, you all know that the one-on-one consultation, Skype consultation, is always available on my through my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and I do that all around the world, all through the week, with people from all different parts of the world, whether it's India, it's Australia, Hong Kong, United States, Canada, UK, Sweden, Belgium, wherever it is, it's possible. So if you have an issue that you want to discuss privately, and it's an elaborate issue, it needs a bunch of sessions or one session, you can go on my site and click on Talk to Me for Consultation, and you'll see the packages, and by all means you can connect with me through that system. Now, Carpe Diem says lol 40, okay. And let's see, where am I? So says Mehran, you always talk about standards. What kind of standards are those? And should you always explain them explicitly? Well, the standards are not my standards. They're your standards. Everybody has their own standards. You expect certain type of a behavior or certain kind of expectations that you have. Certain things that you have in mind that your boyfriend or you wish him to be like. And those standards could be anything from the way he eats, or the way he wears his clothes, the way, the words that he chooses to talk to you, the way he treats you, the smile that he has or frown that he has, the education that he has, the goals that he has. What standards means is what you expect your boyfriend to be like. And there could be all kinds of things that you will find out more and more by simply, when you go for a tea or coffee or a lunch together, you will observe each other. How is he interacting with others? How reasonable is he? How well-tempered is he? Is he so egoistic? Is he just manipulative? Is he full of ego? Is he full of shit? Is he balanced? And what is his intention? Does he want to be friend with you first? Or does he want to have an image that he has a girlfriend and he, bosses her around here and there? All these little things, and what his background is, these will all form some of your standards, and the rest of it I don't know. Maybe their look, their lifestyle, whatever it is. These are your standards, and not somebody else's. And you don't have to necessarily spell it out. You will see it through that courtship that you have for the a week or two, or the first date, the second date, third date, fifth date, and the things that you do, the suggestions that he makes, the intentions that he has, all that you will see if they're compatible with what you have in mind about how your boyfriend should be or not. And then you will go from there. Also says, also, what's the right way to be a strong girl in this cruel world? Well, strong girl is to have your own, again, standards and principles, stick to them, and move away from the garbage and find yourself among the places that you feel it is more in line with your way of thinking and with your expectations, and meets your standards of behavior in that community and or among those people. And be strong and stick to your rules, and don't be fooled by this or that. You have roots, and follow your roots, whatever that may be, that is for you and you alone. Emmanuel says, Mehran, you said once that the virginity of a girl is not a big deal. Why would you think that way? Why shouldn't I think that way? I mean, if you're talking about fairness in life, what do you think a girl is supposed to be? She's come to this world. She's another human like you. She's no less, no more. You yourself can't wait until you make love to a girl because you love her or you want to see what it is. And why can't she do that? Why does she have to feel like she's a commodity that she has to be all wrapped up and packaged for you, and you go have your own experiences, learn everything, and then when you're ready to come and choose this girl, why don't you go and then marry the ones that you slept with? So what I'm trying to say is that she also is a human being just like you are, has the right to experience sex and intimacy, to learn about it, to know what it is that she wants. What does she know? If she's never had sex, how does she know that the guy that she wants to marry or to be with is the right guy? Maybe she just wants to be with him because she doesn't care about how and who the guy is, but she wants to be with him because she's never had sex, and the excitement of experiencing that intimacy is making her feel like he's the right guy. But maybe he's not the right guy. But she can't think that way, because through that relationship or that marriage or that bonding, she can get to know sex that she's always been wanting to know, because she's a human being. It's a natural instinct to want to know. Procreation. And now it's come to be pleasure and something that brings balance to life. So it is important for the guys not to use girls, and to make it clear If they just want to have sex, they got to make it clear to her that, listen, I really like you and all that, but I'm not thinking about long-term relationship. I just want to be friend with you, and I want to have sex, but I don't know where it's going to go. So she has the right to know what your intention is, and she can say the same thing with a girl. She may to a guy. She may not know really if you're the right guy or not, but she likes you enough that she may want to have sex with you. And that shouldn't take anything away from her, because that's exactly what you do. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I mean, you can't expect you to have the joys and things of life and excitements of getting to know by yourself and your feeling and your sensories and what intimacy is or not, and gain that experience to know how to deal with girls, and then you expect her not to have any of that experiences, to wait around for you to go and be the first man for her. That's egoistic thinking, and comes through conditioning of religious beliefs and traditional and customs, but really has nothing to do with fairness and how humanity and human being has been put together. I understand where you come from. I understand that this is a tough thing to accept, that your girl has been sleeping with another guy. But that's because how sex is being looked at in some cultures and some places as something dirty, as something bad, as something that guy used this girl. Now I don't want to be with this girl because it's not the first time that she's going to have sex, and that should be with me. These are all egoistics of, I gotta be more, I am this, I am that. But if you put that aside, you would want to be with a girl who has had sex before, because then you know that she's choosing you not because what you provide, not because the sex is the first time that she wants to know what it is, because the person that you are. She chooses you for who you are, not the fact that she's getting older and she wants to have sex and she wants to have a family. Those are all intentions that really should not be main goal of a successful relationship, or main ingredients for a good and successful long-term relationship. Now think about it through. If you look at it as a person who has the same rights and privileges as you have in this life, then who are you to expect you to have these experiences but her not? Think about it. Carpe Diem says, great, thank you, you're welcome. Mimi Maya, I forgot if that's a picture of a boy or a girl, I can't see it. It says, hello Mehran, hello dear, it's me again. Okay, one day before my girlfriend, okay, so it's a guy. One day before my girlfriend broke up, she said she's so happy to have me. Then at the next day we had a little fight over texting, real life later. Yeah, okay. And then he continues, says, then she said, oops, I lost you. Then she said that she can't imagine a future with me. I asked her, and I still don't know the clear reason. Now I think I fucked it all up because we had a fight because of me, or because I asked. And then he continues, that question, do you as a man with experience think that she would broke up anyway someday? I mean, it was just a fight, verbal. I can't live with the idea that I could prevent it. Oh, come on, stop that. Don't even think that, what if I wouldn't have said this? What if I would have bought this for her? What if I wouldn't have argued with her? Why is it that has to be such a weak relationship that with this or that, things would have changed this way or that way? No. That wasn't made because of you said that or you didn't say that. It was made in her mind for God knows how long ago. She's been thinking about it, or she's been considering it. If you guys are good together, or she gets enough stuff from you, enough attention or enough money or enough things or enough whatever, fun, or she's been also maybe hanging around and seeing that she wants to do other stuff that she's interested, and then eventually she chose some kind of a scenario to say, okay, I don't want to be with you. Or it was egoistic decision to show you she's more than you, or she didn't feel like she's as high as she wants to be in front of your eyes, so she kind of cuts the cord and have a temper tantrum. All egoistic behavior, or simply she just changed her mind. She wants to be with somebody else that may or may not be in the scene at all right now, but or she wants to do other things, or she felt some kind of a I don't know, limitations, or the relationship simply has exhausted its duration, and that happens. Everything eventually has gone through its duration, and it's time to move on. No big deal. Don't think about, oh, I said that. Who the hell is she that you're supposed to tiptoe around her to not say something a little bit different than it should have been said, in a tone and in a music and in a word, unless otherwise she would, you know, cut the relationship. So big, you know, deal. So what? As long as you're decent, you're not abusing her verbally or physically, then the rest of it is about understanding each other, compatibility issues, harmonizing with each other, bonding on conscious level, and being able to be, you know, a good friends to begin with, and good communicators. Otherwise, you know, it happened, it happened. Don't blame yourself. Move on. So what? What was she? The, what, goddess of earth, or what? What was she going to do for you? So she didn't want you. Respect her opinion, but respect yourself as well. Move on. Get another girlfriend eventually. No big deal. And don't forget to tell me your age. I keep forgetting. Always tell me your age, guys, when you're writing a question, because I can't go back and remind myself. Okay, now. Okay. Aso is talking to somebody else. Aso says, I love you, Mehran. You have no idea. You're so sweet. Thank you very much, dear. I'm flattered. I appreciate it. I'm sure you love me because of the videos and the things that I can make you think about it, and I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Mimik Maya says, I think that if we would not had this fight, we would still be happy together. Yeah, you will have. What kind of a sense is that? You would have a fight some other time on some other thing. If every fight is going to make or break a relationship, then that's not a relationship. And don't blame yourself. People go through this and that. You can't say, this was the one. No. If you have a wood that you keep trying to bend and break, you keep bending, and eventually it doesn't break, and eventually one more push, while you have bent it so far, breaks, and you say, oh, if I hadn't done this last push, then we would be happy. No, it was already bending toward breaking anyhow. And that one last one doesn't mean it would have been a determining factor. It just meant it brought it earlier, but it was going towards breaking the wood anyhow. So don't bother yourself. Don't blame yourself at all. It happens. No big deal. You're a young boy. Go find somebody else. No big deal at all. Stop blaming yourself, and stop, you know, thinking of the girls that they're all that and the wise of the world. The reason that you think they're so smart and so perfect is because you love the intimacy with them. At the same time, you have no right to misuse them or be bad to them, or be disrespectful to them. You have to be kind to them, take good care of them, be nice to them, be cordial to them, and be honest with them and take good care of them. But don't have to also think of them as they're better than you and they're doing you a favor by being with you. None of that. All that because they're in control of something that you want. It's like, as I said before, if you're in line to get an ice cream, and the closer you get to the ice cream man who's selling the ice cream, you think the ice cream man is so important. It's such an authority. to the point that if somebody has a noseblood, you will look at the ice cream man to say whatever he says, you would think it's his authority, he knows better. Why? It's just he's in control of the ice cream. And that's what makes him important. Not because he's such a well-educated, wise, caring, compassionate, world peace instigator and the wise of the world. No. You find him an authority, an important person, because he's in control of serving the ice creams, to sell you the ice cream. And you want the ice cream. So he's in control of what you want. And the girls are in control of what most boys at especially young age are looking for, which is intimacy and getting to have a girlfriend and, the touching, the holding, and feeling that, wonderful feeling of love and intimacy and the sex. And for that, suddenly you make her to be far more than what she is. And that's why then you guys not really having a good communication with each other, because you're constantly thinking that's all she is. She's more than the sex that you're expecting from her. She's a friend. She's a human being. She could be wise and educated, and you guys can bond on different levels, and you have each other for the rest of the physical interactions and bonding. Now, okay, guys, I think we've had enough chat. I thank you for being with me. I appreciate you guys spend some time with me. Don't forget to please promote the channel if you really are enjoying the channel, and if you really appreciate and what my work is all about, and how you get help from the channel and the videos that are now over 750 or 720 videos there, then please do promote the channel, the videos that you like, whether the relationship videos or the videos regarding the psyche, thoughts, consciousness, ego, fear, and desire, and how it has explained how the psyche ticks and works. Share any other videos that you like on your social media, or put my site link and picture of it on your social media. Have people to get to know more about the YouTube channel and the Facebook page or the site that I have and so on, or the videos that you like to share with them, so in that way we get the channel popularized more, become more popular and more subscribers. So that will help the channel. At the same time, we get to spend more time on doing what it is that we have set out to do here on a worldwide basis. Thank you again very much for being here. Take good care of yourselves and the others, and I'll look forward to talk to you again soon. Bye for now.